I still got his dragging off.
Okay. It's just it's the towels, like they just haven't washed the towels.
You guys want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Ross, and I play drums in the Cribs.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm the singer and guitar player.
Perfect. Alright, so the new album for all my sisters. If you had one word to describe that, what would it be?
Putting me on the spot.
It's like, it's just new, you know, it's a new record. I think that I feel like it's hooky. I would say hooky. I think there's a lot of hooks on there, you know. Sexy. That'll do. Sexy, that's better.
It's pretty pop as well, you know, for us guys. We've always had this balance of like, you know, pop and punk rock guilt, and we definitely embrace the pop side of the band on this new record.
Still heavy though, you know. Still got heavy guitars and stuff.
Yeah, well, you know, I actually thought of that. I'd say, you know, it definitely has a pop sound, but you didn't compromise anything. You know, it still stays true to your kind of original sound.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the thing with that, like, you know, with this band, it's like, there's certain elements that don't ever really go away, you know. I don't think that I just can't ever imagine making a record where we turn the distortion off, or we turn the guitars down, or the drums sound like electronic or anything like that. There's just certain things that are just kind of ingrained in us that, you know, if we were working with a producer and they wanted us to kind of do some of those more modern techniques, we would just wouldn't be into it at all. So I think that, you know, our records, as much as we try and experiment and, you know, mix things up or give records a different flavour, they always kind of have the same DNA ultimately, you know. So.
Our definition of pop is like, yeah, a lot different to what most people would consider pop too.
It involves grown men screaming over distorted guitars.
You know, obviously someone that was in the band for a few years was Johnny Marr. How did you guys meet, and what was that like, deciding that he was going to join the band? Was that a decision he put forth, or was that something you guys came up with?
We just didn't really talk about it, you know. We were friends and we just played some music together, started jamming, wrote a record, and then, you know, I think that we just all felt comfortable together, that we just didn't really have that discussion, you know. We just naturally kind of, you know, it was just like, oh, it's in the band now, you know, we just don't really need to discuss it. And it was just very organic, you know. It was, for us, it was like we'd already made 3 records, you know, we'd already made 3 albums as just the 3 of us, so it was like to add another member and to add someone that we actually really, you know, not only liked as a musician but really liked as a person and who we really got on with. It just made things really interesting, you know. For us, it was like the first record as a 4-piece after doing 3 as a 3-piece. So it was an interesting experiment. I really liked the record that we made together, and you know, we only did 1 record together, which I think that we did plan to maybe continue and do more, but we needed a break after that because we just, you know, we'd been on tour for 10 years by that point, never really had a break, so, you know, we all ended up going off and doing our own thing again. But I kind of feel like that's probably, you know, that's just the way that fate decided the way things were going to go, and I have happy memories of it, so.
He seems to do that a lot though, just jumping into bands, you know. You got the Modest Mouse, and
he's just a creative guy, and you know, like, he just goes where he feels, you know, that the art's taking him or whatever, and you know, it's not like he makes a decision to do that. It's just he just ends
organic.
Yeah, and you know, he felt like you know, we felt like we needed to make another record as a 3-piece, so that's what we did. And Johnny felt like he wanted to make a solo record afterwards as well. So you just do wherever the art takes you, you know.
I get the impression he's probably just going to stay solo from now on though, you know. I feel like, you know, that's what he was kind of wanting to do all along, you know, and you know, it seems to be going well for him, so I think he'll probably remain solo now. I mean, I don't know, but that's...
Unless we get that mythical Smiths reunion that...
I don't think that's going to happen, no. From hanging out with him, I don't think that'll happen.
Who are some of the artists you guys are looking to make more collabs with in the future? I know before the interview you were telling me you've been talking to Albert Hammond about maybe getting in the studio. And
yeah, we've spoke briefly about that. I mean, he's in town tonight, so I'm hoping to go hang out with him and see him. Yeah, we've, you know, discussed like wanting to do that in the future. But I also worked, you know, I released a you know, I have another solo band called Exclamation Pony, and yeah, and we did a record on Cult Records, so I was working with Julian then as well. So, and I you know, I love stuff like that. I love working with like, you know, people like that I really respect. You know, I feel like those guys are great songwriters. So that was just it was a really fun thing to do. You know.
Yeah, but we don't, you know, we don't go out looking for collaborations.
Yeah,
It's just stuff that, like, again, like that's how, you know, how most of things happen, is that you just end up like meeting other musicians and becoming like, you know, like friends and stuff, and then obviously, like, you know, with everyone being musicians, you just sometimes may do the odd thing. But I mean, we haven't collaborated with anyone for like 2 albums now or anything.
Our favourite thing to do really is to just us three play together. You know, that I think that's our favourite thing. I think we feel like that's the formula that really works, and that for us, even after all this time, is still probably the most exciting thing. You know, just collaborating with each other.
All right, lads. Thanks for your time, and we're out.